So if you guys haven't noticed, ADA very much likes to follow what it's done historically speaking, whether that's from cycle to cycle or if it's even from pump to pump. It likes to follow these trends. And right now, ADA is doing something that it did back in the fall. And last time this led us over a 200% surge. And what some people are suggesting is that we may in fact see a $3 ADA within 27 days. And we're going to talk about that in this video. Is that possible? Is that what's coming down the pipeline? I will say right now, ADA is acting a lot more like a market leader than a market follower. And I want to also look at some of these AI projections for ADA here as well. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. I'm hoping that my mic wasn't too messed up in the earlier videos, but I think I got it fixed now. Technology is just an absolute nightmare sometimes, but here's what I will say. It's still pretty early on in the day. It's about 6:40 a.m. Central Standard Time, and we saw a little bit of selling at the end of the nightly candle. So things we need to see today. We need to not get shaken out by any potential shakeouts in the market. I would not be surprised if we get some today. Again, leverage is really compressed very tightly around price for ADA and other assets in the market. So we're probably going to see a lot of volatility once again. And as long as we're not getting these massive long leverage squeezes like we got yesterday, I think we're in a pretty good spot to take a step forward towards the weekend. Like we talked about, it was a good institutional day yesterday. Would not be surprised by that yet again today. And so we just need BTC to show some resilience here, get above that longer term trend, probably around, 120 to 121K or so. That'd be a great spot to be. We need Ethereum to move back above 4,700, maybe target 4,750. That would be a comfortable spot for us to start making some progress here. And frankly, ADA again it really wants to get up to $1.08. So maybe if we can get somewhere back up around 97, 98 cents or so today, that'd be a great spot to potentially make that move as we go through the weekend. Now, this isn't to guarantee your financial advice or anything like that. We just, of course, have to be patient, watch, and wait and see what happens. And I will say, despite everything we've gone through in the crypto market, ADA has actually remained incredibly resilient here. And this is where ADA is acting a lot more like a market leader than a market follower. Many times during these shakeouts, you guys probably remember this, we talked about ADA having bad luck and it just getting absolutely crushed right when it's looking like it's going to make some moves. ADA hasn't really done that this time. Again, finished green yesterday, despite the red in the market. It's one of the only assets in the market that was actually green. And actually those two blowout trends like we talked about yesterday, completely intact still. That is a huge, huge sign. And actually, this is exactly what happened last market cycle, right as ADA was starting to make those late 2020 moves, like we were talking about, this throwback to the trend here. This exact same thing happened here. And that led us on this big, massive rally in terms of ADA. What was also present, guys, is right now, if we zoom out and we look at this market cycle alone, this formation right here looks pretty darn similar to this formation here, right? And there are things that are consistent between the two of these. One, first of all, I have to say we have better fundamentals, but two, we also broke this longer term trend. ADA was actually fighting a longer term trend right here as well. Finally got this breakout, went on a rally here and finally broke through these resistance levels and went on a pretty significant surge. And what was present at that time, like we talked about a few days ago, was that golden cross. Now, some people are also recognizing this, got ahead of myself there, wrong, so we'll call it wrong slide, right? What was also present at the time was this golden cross. And in fact, other people are starting to catch up to things that we've been talking about here on the channel. DZ actually posted this saying that the last time we had this golden cross take place, ADA ran 230%. A similar move gives us $3 ADA in 27 days. That would be a pretty exciting move. That would be par for the trend, right? ADA actually targeting that $1.95 range up here, fighting our longer term trend. It looks like ADA wants to run and hit its head on this. And then it's a question of, does it get the push through it? Well, if it does, guys, that's history playing out to perfection, right? And reasons this could happen is, again, we're still anticipating rate cuts coming in September. We're still not in quantitative easing yet. People on the market, people on the sidelines of the market still haven't just smashed the buy button yet. We still haven't had retail come in. I mean, there's a lot of things that can put wind in our sails from here that can take ADA to much higher prices. And the fact that ADA is acting the way that it is right now should give you a lot of confidence, because it's not doing the same weakness it's been at many other points in this market cycle. So that's very promising. And actually, that brings me to this. There was actually a prompt that was put in by Crypto Boss King into Chat GPT. And what this was actually talking about was these realistic ranges for ADA in this market cycle. And I think this actually makes a lot of sense. I think this actually kind of follows what we talked about maybe a week and a half ago or so. And what this said is the realistic ranges plugged in by Chat GPT 5 is the bearish case is about $2.64. The base case is between $7 to $12 ADA, which actually falls kind of right in our price targets. Like we were talking about $7 to $15 ADA, and the bullish case actually being all the way up at $19.44. Now, I'm not going to do the math in this video. We've done the math countless times. And as you guys know, we've talked about if we hit a super cycle, blow off tops, major integrations with Cardano or ADA, we might be talking somewhere in the 20s, right? I'm not saying that's going to happen for sure, so don't twist my words. But what this says is if BTC runs to 180 to 200K range and alt season gets wild, the $12 to $20 zone is possible. If BTC tops earlier or weekly, ADA probably stalls in the $5 to $8 range. So it's kind of all over the board. But what you need to know is that we've had a lot of things that have been working in our favor here, especially in 2025. A lot of developments taking place. Conviction is much higher than it has been. Stronger fundamentals, even than they were. They were already good. They've gotten so much better. So we've now laid this nice groundwork to make these historic extensions, to make these tests and breakouts that we've been talking about and waiting for in this market cycle. And what I will say is this, is here's how I'm anticipating this fall to play out. So when we've talked about this cycle in general, we talked about way early on a top that is likely sometime around October. Historically speaking, it would make a lot of sense. Timeline speaking, it would make a lot of sense. But like we've talked about, many things have been elongated and delayed. I am still anticipating some sort of shakeout event in October or November where they try to make people think we're entering a bear market cycle and we're going to see just this massive retracement in the market. And maybe we do, maybe we don't. I will say institutional money is going to probably not take a big bath on BTC and Ethereum. They're going to heavily buy the dip, and it's going to give people a little bit of whiplash. They're going to say, oh, what? I thought we were entering a bear market. I thought we were just going to retrace, right? And just fall back down to nothing. All right. I do think we still get pretty aggressive heading into that time. I think we will trigger some retail adoption. And that's the thing, is you're only going to hold a lot of these things back so long. And that's why I think at this point, much more likely we have an extended market cycle or a super cycle, but we'll obviously make those calls as we get to the fall. I just wanted to show you guys that right now we're doing what we've done historically speaking. We're following the pumps even that we've had in this market cycle alone. And that alone should give you a lot of excitement for where ADA could be headed in the not so distant future. So appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Show your love below. Let me know your thoughts. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.